Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go.
Good morning to you. It's 7:02 a.m. My name is Richie B. How you all doing? This is Christmas week 2021. That's right. Because Christmas really and truly beckons. This coming Saturday, Christmas Day 2021. You believe that?
Unbelievable.
Anyhow, we give thanks. We survived the weekend, and here we are. My name is Richie B. We've got in the studio DJ Audley, who you heard on Voice a while ago. And we have Jody, we have Richie, and I see Sean in the building. And together we're going to take care of you until 11 o'clock this morning. The program is called Up and Go, and we've got a lot of wonderful things for you. Great connections, some wonderful interviews. We check into the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. We are streaming around the world at www.thebridge99fm.com. You can also hear us at www.irijamradio.com. We provide lifestyle and entertainment. We have business exclusives, and we cover all kinds of topics during this program. It's going to be worth your while, so keep it locked. As we like to say, what you want is what you get, and what you get is more than you bargained for. Good morning. There is a 35-year-old man who is on a mission in Chile, as he has been declared as their newest president. 35 years of age. Leftist and former student leader Gabriel Boric, 35 years of age. He's on a mission, and he has now emerged as the youngest president of Chile after he won a presidential runoff election yesterday. Some 99.95% of the ballots have been counted. At this time, we can report that Boric won some 55.87% of the vote, securing victory over his right-wing opponent, Jose Antonio Cast, who trailed with 44.13%, according to the Electoral Service of Chile. Boric will be sworn in as president on March 11 next year. Mr. Cast conceded the election to Boric and congratulated his opponent on his great triumph. He said in a tweet, "From today, he is the elected president of Chile and deserves all our respect and constructive collaboration. Chile is always first," wrote Mr. Cast. And he said, "I want to begin this historical moment, which is tremendously exciting, and that the eyes of Chile and the world are watching, thanking all Chileans who went to vote, honoring their commitment to democracy," said the incoming President Boric. "It doesn't matter if you did it for me or my opponent. The important thing is that you did it. You were present. You showed your commitment to this country that belongs to each of you." So, that's a young man with quite a task ahead. And he's definitely a man on a mission. We hope that he does well. And that will augur well for youth and young leaders the world over. There have been many. You know that Kim Jong-un, for instance, was very, very young when he took over the presidency in North Korea, for instance. And there are some other young leaders out there not doing too badly. We wish the new president of Chile, Gabriel Boric, all the best in this new role and capacity over there in Chile. He's the new president. All right, it was really such a nice thing to be watching No Time to Die, as I finally got a chance to watch it last night after promising to do it for so long. And I have a good excuse, though. I was kind of waiting on the boys to finish their examination so we could all watch it together. But you know what's interesting? What? Yesterday I got home after 3 o'clock in the afternoon and had dinner. And then, I don't know if you want to call it niggeritis or what, but not long thereafter, having been working all weekend long, I kind of knocked out. And I was awakened sometime later in the night by my son. And I'm thinking, what is he waking me up for? It's not time to go to work yet. But really and truly, I was thinking like it's about maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, it was just after 8 o'clock. So we decided to watch No Time to Die last night. Enjoyed it. And you know what is really, really cool, DJ Audley, is when when you see scenes from your own country and you hear music from your own Jamaican artists.
Don't be a spoiler.
Yeah, no. That's all I'm going to mention.
Well,
Nothing else about the movie. So because you have,
I've not seen it.
I think you have not seen it as yet. You have been promising, threatening, but you haven't gotten to it as yet. I just did it yesterday. Remember, it's about several weeks now. I'm saying I'm going to do this, right? Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. Very long movie, but full of action. And now the big talk has been for some time, who will be the next 007 star? Because of course, Daniel Craig has now packed up and is not going back as a 007 star. So here's one gentleman who also starred in No Time to Die, Billy Magnussen. He's saying, hey, listen, man, I would love to snatch the gig as the main star in 007. And he's well aware that his American nationality and also his role in another particular series might drastically reduce his chances. But he's saying he's counting his blessings that he'll get through in the film. So his name is Billy Magnussen. In addition to that, though, there is a lady who performed a very, very active role, literally very active role in the movie. Her name is Lashana Lynch. And a lot of persons are putting their support behind her to be the next 007 star. Lashana Lynch. Note the name, ladies and gentlemen. She did a very good job in the movie, and now her name is out there in big time. I think she has some Jamaican connections too. So let's see what happens. Who will it be who will be the next 007 star? When I said it earlier off the air, you want to hear my little man Richie? Me, man. DJ Hardley.
Yeah, man.
That's an ambitious thought.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you didn't even start with pantomime. You're going straight to 007.
Well, I'm going to get the voice. Bond. James Bond.
Not bad for a start.
Oh, myself.
You sound good, Yeah. I'm nominating Audley for the role. Now, just to give you the backstory before we speak with Helen Davis Whyte, who is the president of the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, on December 10, the Supreme Court granted Cari-med an application to strike out the constitutional aspects of a case that was brought by 5 employees who claimed that Cari-med's COVID-19 vaccination policy was violating their constitutional rights. Cari-med had issued a COVID-19 vaccination policy saying all employees have to present proof of vaccination against COVID-19 or present a negative PCR test every 2 weeks at their own expense. The 5 workers then went to court claiming that their constitutional rights, such as the right to security of the person, freedom of thought, conscience or belief, the right to religion, had been breached. Cari-med made an application subsequently asking the court to strike out the constitutional aspects of the case, and it argued that workers are not being forced to take the vaccine because they have the alternative of doing a PCR test. That is primarily what we'll be talking with Helen Davis Whyte this morning about. She's, of course, a Jamaican trade union activist and, as we mentioned earlier, president of the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions. Good morning. Season's greetings, Helen Davis Whyte. How are you?
I'm doing well, Richie. Morning as well.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us at this time. Mrs. Whyte, what are your thoughts on the outcome or the development in that case with Cari-med and their workers?
Well, I think many of us as trade unionists were waiting and probably still are waiting on some of the cases that are before the courts now. Mm-hmm. Because, bearing in mind our judicial system, those cases may have implications for any other cases to come.
Yes.
In respect of the particular ruling, what is of note is that the entire thing was not thrown out. Only one aspect of the case, which is a constitutional aspect of the case, was actually thrown out. That pretty much, I wouldn't say settles the matter, because I think every case that goes before the court has to be seen on its own merit, and I think that's how the courts deal with cases that come before them. But certainly, any other case that has similar situations being placed before the court, it is very likely that those cases will also be thrown out. So I think that aspect has certainly been settled in terms of the particulars that were placed before the court, and I think any other case that is coming before the court would have to have a different approach for the courts to look at it differently. So it, from our standpoint, it does present a kind of challenge to us, because clearly the courts have gone in favor of Cari-med in this particular situation, and basically saying that what was placed before them did not actually amount to a constitutional challenge in their view. And so it meant that what they were actually saying is that the case that came before them, they indicated that the particulars of the case were such that they felt that didn't rise to a constitutional issue, as the claimants would have
indicated or
would have been able to raise the matter in under contract law.
Yes.
And so they saw the case more as one under contract law rather than one for constitutional challenge.
Okay. I know you can't speak for them, but have you heard any reaction from the attorneys who represented these workers?
Only what I've heard in the media, and I have not heard anything that suggests that they will be challenging the ruling, because the only challenge, I think, hereafter would be to the appeals court, and they have not indicated that that is so. But I do know that the other aspect of the case that is one for the contract itself is going to be coming up, I think, sometime this week, if my information is correct.
Earlier, you made reference to the fact that there are other cases. Would you say that there are many others out there of a similar nature before the courts?
Not many from my information. I know there is one other, and I know there's one that went to the IDT. One of them that was there, the parties agreed to go back to local level, so to speak. And there is another that is before the Industrial Disputes Tribunal, and I believe one other that is, I forgot the company, but there's one other that is, I think it may be Digital, if my memory serves me right, that is also there to be dealt with.
So the trade union movement obviously has taken note of this development. Do you think then that it poses even greater challenges in terms of your own positions on matters of this nature going forward?
I think it does. It does present a challenge as to how we would now be able to raise our members' concerns, because there are members who are opposed to the idea of them being mandated to put something into their bodies, and so for those cases we are going to be having problems. But I think what should be clear is that the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions has, in fact, indicated our support for the vaccination program. However, we have said we do not believe that, mandatory vaccination is something that employers should be introducing at this point in time. We have felt that the issue of the vaccination is really part of a public health crisis, and we believe where there's a public health crisis, it's the public health authorities that should be making these recommendations rather than employers going off on their own to take actions in a situation where the public health authorities have not indicated that those actions are necessary at this time. Furthermore, we have indicated that if or when the public health authorities are considering the issue of mandatory vaccination, we believe that they should take into consideration very heavily the recommendations of the World Health Organization whenever they are making this consideration, because the World Health Organization has put various actions on the table that should be taken before any authority, any public health authority goes the route of mandatory vaccination. And one of them that we think is very important is that any particular government that is going through this situation should be able to say to individuals, what liability the government will take on in the event of any adverse reactions to the vaccine. That's one that we think is very important. We have heard mention of it by various government officials, but there is nothing that we see in writing that says that the government will accept liability in the event of any adverse reactions to the vaccine.
Mm-hmm. So, as a confederation, is there like a blanket approach that you have taken in terms of this vaccination, the policy as outlined by the Ministry of Health? And do you have a message to anti-vaxxers, for instance?
Well, what we have said, we did have a press conference on the whole issue some months ago, and what we are clear on is that we are in support of the vaccines, that we have actually consulted and gotten advice from our international affiliates and others, medical persons as well, as to the efficacy and safety of the vaccines. And based on the information that we have gotten, we are convinced that the vaccine is, in fact, something that we would recommend our members actually take up, because from what we have seen and what we have been told, that the vaccines, the risks presented by the vaccines, we think, are outweighed by the advantages. The advantages outweigh the risks of the vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Back to the case that we started talking about of the 5 employees who took Cari-med to court. Are you expecting them to proceed in any way whatsoever on this matter, or do you think the case is closed, so to speak?
As I said, I have not heard that they are going to be challenging or appealing the ruling of the court in respect to the constitutional aspect of their case. But there's the other aspect of the case which the judge has ruled should go forward, and we are awaiting what are the results coming from that aspect of the case, because I think those are the aspects that the court rules should properly be dealt with under contract law rather than the constitutional aspect.
All right. Helen Davis-Whyte, it's always a pleasure to have you on the program. I wish you all the best for the season and a Happy New Year when it comes. Thank you so much for this morning.
Thank you, and same to you.
Much appreciated. A chat there with the trade union activist and president of the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, the J.C.T.U., Helen Davis-Whyte. You remember her well. We were at another place of in broadcasting, and she was also a member of that team there, right? You remember her well? Yeah. We used to see her quite a bit. Very active in the trade union movement, and has done a fantastic job in her career. Bless ups again to Helen Davis-Whyte. Actually, I saw a tweet that was put out by Piers Morgan in the United Kingdom. And he can be very controversial.
Very.
So Pierce puts out a tweet this morning that says, footballers who refuse to be jabbed should be refused treatment for injuries. He continues, after all, why should they trust doctors about treatment for broken legs and torn ligaments if they don't trust them about a life-saving vaccine? That is what Pierce put out. Well, it has created a firestorm of responses, as you could have expected. Should smokers then be denied treatment for smoking-related illness? Stop banging on about the vaccine. You've had yours, well done. Leave others to make their own choices. One of the responses that came in. But there is a particular response which I found quite interesting. Here's what this one says. They're telling the unjabbed to take the jab because the jab works. And telling the jabbed to get a booster because the jab doesn't work. It doesn't stop there. All while telling everyone that the unjabbed are putting the jabbed in danger by not getting a jab that didn't protect the jabbed. It's a serious matter. No, seriously. This adds some dimension to the whole conversation, doesn't it? Let me just repeat it one more time if you missed it.
Yeah.
They're telling the unjabbed to take the jab because the jab works. And telling the jabbed to get a booster because the jab doesn't work. All while telling everyone that the unjabbed are putting the jabbed in danger by not getting a jab that didn't protect the jabbed. I know me say so. The people them say so. Now, we have a guest that's going to be talking to us this morning about her initiative called Adopt an Elder. And my guest is Shelly Curran, who is no stranger to giving back, especially to those in need. What is Adopt an Elder? What is that initiative all about? Let's find out as we say good morning, season's greetings, and welcome, Shelly Curran. How are you, Shelly?
I am so fine. Good morning.
Nice having you once again on the program, and I hope that all will go well for you and for yours for this Christmas season.
Yes, grateful.
Yes. Now, I want you to tell us about this initiative that you have, the Adopt an Elder program. What is that all about, Shelly?
Well, it came out a couple of months ago when, of course, we're in lockdown and stuff, and we saw how vulnerable our elders were. This pandemic has really exposed a lot of suffering. And so it came out where I thought it was a great idea if each person could adopt somebody. So that means every week or every 2 weeks, you could give a care package. But it's not just one-off. You adopt them, so it is something that is carried through.
Mm-hmm. Even beyond the Yuletide season.
Yes, they started a couple months ago. So we did our Christmas special where we asked people to donate tin foods, clothing that are lightly worn, anything. Mm-hmm. We find homes for them. So what I found was an overwhelming response. Some people didn't want to actually adopt, but they asked me to find the homes. So we did that. Over 30 homes we did on Saturday.
That's fantastic. 30 homes, approximately how many elders have benefited so far, would you say?
30, but by extension, I guess their household would have benefited.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we would identify elders that are in need. I have a family that I adopted a couple months ago. It's Miss Penny and her husband. Mm-hmm. So, every 2 weeks I bring package, where I purchase, where I get to know her. So I know that they need of medication. They're not allowed. They're not able to work.
Mm-hmm. And they need help.
They need help.
Yeah.
They need to eat.
Right. So how can persons get involved in this initiative?
Okay, so as I said, it can just be a donation. Mm-hmm. We put packages together, and it's not just Christmas. We started it months ago. It's going to be ongoing. So we have an email, adoptanelder@gmail. You can just send us an email, tell us how you'd like to donate, get involved, and we find homes to distribute.
So just to make it clear to the listeners, there are two tiers basically. You can make a contribution, or you can go to the extent of an adoption, where you actually are contributing on an ongoing basis, right?
Correct. So we have 15 adoptions so far.
Oh, great.
Which is ongoing, and that one is a longevity. So the really pushing to have people being helped on an ongoing, and there's no amount. If you could afford two tin of canned food, flour, rice every 2 weeks, it would be appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Do you have? Obviously, you have a lot of persons that you know who are in need, and a lot of persons out there we know they have stuff they would maybe just ordinarily throw them away, including clothing items which are not badly worn and so on. So you're saying that they can channel these through this initiative, right?
Correct. I come and collect, or I send a bearer, or you can drop off. I've actually dedicated a room out of my house just to store items so we can divide and make sure it goes to the right people. Now I have requests for other communities asking me to come in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take us to the very beginning. The inspiration behind this came from what?
A tweet.
Really?
Yes. A lady on Twitter just said, wouldn't it be nice if we just adopted one elder? And this was in the middle of the lockdown. We were on 3 days lockdown and all of that. And I said, that's a great idea. And I ran with it. And then I started with one family. It turned it to 10. And then by the time Christmas come, I said, you know what? I wanted an extra special hampers for 30 plus families. This one is not just basic foods. This was bringing Christmas to each of this. So we did Christmas cakes. Instead of just the normal basic foods, we gave stuff that would make a good Christmas dinner. So these hampers were very special.
Is your appeal also to corporate Jamaica?
Yes, our appeal is to the whole of Jamaica. Anybody who can donate.
And how can they reach you?
They can email by sending to adoptanelder@gmail, or they can email me directly, shelly.curran@gmail. This has become part of my everyday routine to give back.
All right. I really commend you on this initiative, and I'm appealing to others out there listening to help her along the way so she can.
And it can be couple tin foods. It can be any. There's no set amount. There's no big amount. Every little adds up.
Yeah. In other words, people don't have to put themselves under tremendous pressure in order to contribute. Just give what you can, whether it be food items, some cash, some clothing. That is, you don't want anything that's badly worn and so on in tatters, but fairly decent clothing that they're not using. All those are welcome, because Shelly Ann she knows people who are in need and would appreciate these gifts.
Really, we should not forget our elders.
Certainly not. I really commend you and applaud you on this effort. I wish you all the best for the season, and Happy New Year when it comes, Shelly, and keep it going.
To you.
Much love every time. Take care.
Okay.
A chat there with Shelly Ann Curran, ladies and gentlemen. Have you heard what has happened over there in Barbados? What Mia Motley is doing for the nation of Barbados in time for Christmas? She's offering and has announced a tax-free shopping day. Yep. And her administration announced that Barbadians will have a tax-free shopping day today, the 20th of December. That announcement was made on the weekend by Finance Minister Ryan Strawn, who said that consumers will be exempt from paying the legislated 17.5% value-added tax, VAT, or VAT, on goods and hire purchase sales. Yeah, he said that the initiative will make it easier for shoppers who have been financially challenged over the past few years and allow them to stretch their budgets. Yep. So today, the 20th of December, it's a tax-free shopping holiday, so to speak, over there in Barbados, as announced by the Mia Motley administration. There are some goods that don't qualify. Credit purchases and so on. Goods on consignment, motor vehicles, guns, ammunition, cigarettes, alcoholic beverages. Those are exempt. But Barbadians are celebrating. And you know what is happening now, DJ Audley? A lot of Jamaicans are messaging me. Why can't we have one? I'm getting several messages from listeners all morning. Why can't we? Richie, can you call for a tax-free shopping holiday? It's not too late, one person just said to me. We still have a few years left. Call on Andrew Holness. Oh, my goodness. That is what they're doing. So many comparisons. But it's a good look, though, that the administration over there in Barbados has come up with a tax-free one day where you can buy what you want, and I'm sure that they're celebrating a hell of a lot over there in Barbados on this initiative. Let the Christmas catch you in a good mood. And for those Jamaicans who are writing me, asking me whether or not I have any information if our administration is going in that direction, I don't know. One person said, why can't Santa Claus come visit me? I said, Santa will, don't worry. You still have some days left. It's time for us now, though, to look at what we call WTF, which is What the Fact. And this morning we're looking at hanging stockings for Christmas, how it really started. My information, by the way, is that hanging stockings for Christmas actually started, believe it or not, by accident. And I'm going to tell you the information that we have. Legend has it, of course, especially in overseas North American countries and so on, and other countries around the world, they hang stockings by the chimney with care thanks to a poor man who didn't have enough money for his 3 daughters' dowries. Generous old Santa Claus dropped a bag of gold down their chimney one night after the girls had hung their freshly washed stockings there to dry. And believe it or not, that is where the gold ended up, and the tradition has stuck ever since. So now you know, this whole matter of hanging stockings for Christmas, it really started by accident. You don't get these kinds of facts anywhere else, outside of right here on WTF, meaning What the Fact. Ladies and gentlemen, I just survived my most nervous moment on the show. But he got it right.
A faithful promise make fool glad.
Say it again.
A faithful promise make fool glad.
Oh, okay. That's where you're going, huh? All right. Can't beat me to it. A faithful promise. Sorry, that is not promise, but promise. A faithful promise make fool glad. That is the Jamaican proverb. Now, the translation. A promise delights the heart of a fool. That is the translation. Now for the meaning or the explanation. Don't be fooled by those that make big promises and never deliver. Yeah. A faithful promise make fool glad. Don't be fooled by those who make big promises and they just never deliver. Now, there is a story that we came across that I'd like to share with you. You remember some weeks ago we told you that there is a very famous Chinese tennis star who had disappeared. It was believed after she had made some damning allegations against a high-ranking official in the Chinese government, right? Well, as it has turned out, this tennis star by the name of Peng Shuai, who had disappeared after making sex assault claims, has now come out to say that she never made those allegations in the first place. I knew I'd have gotten that reaction. When it's a Richie with my mom, Whyte like him, I say, hey, what are you saying? Yes. Yeah, so the truth is, The Chinese tennis star who sparked global concern when she appeared to suddenly go missing after accusing a government official of sexual assault, has appeared in an online video denying, she's denying that she ever made the claim. It was sometime last month, I think it was, when Peng Shuai accused Zhang Gaoli, a former vice premier in China, of assaulting her in the past, and then she went into obscurity for nearly 3 weeks, and everybody the world over, many tennis associations the world over, were very concerned, and they were planning to take action against the Chinese government. All kinds of stuff were being planned. Well, she's now coming out to say that she never actually accused anyone of assaulting her, claiming that a post that she made on social media in November was grossly misunderstood. That's what she's saying. And she says, and I quote, "First, I need to stress one point that is extremely important. I have never said or written that anyone has sexually assaulted me. I have to clearly stress this point." That's what she said, end quote. And she also went on to say that before the post was deleted, it was simply a private matter, and that many people have had some misunderstandings about the issue. Well, that's all I have to say. I'm not going to go speculating or anything like that, but the tennis star that the world became concerned over after she made these damning allegations against a high-ranking government official is this morning saying, me never say so. As a matter of fact, she went further to say, no go so. What can I say? What can I say? What do you say? Now, at this time of the year, a lot of persons are focusing on shopping. And some people have not gotten through their shopping as yet. Some people are contemplating what kind of gifts they want to be giving. And some people are literally confused as to what direction to go. Well, we're joined at this time by the CEO of Jess's Gifts and Décor, Mrs. Kiddist Cowans, who is going to be giving us some last-minute shoppers, shoppers, some tips on affordable and unique gift ideas that they might want to contemplate or consider getting before Christmas Day. Now, I want you to start by sharing with us some, some gift ideas, especially for those persons who have ended up now doing last-minute shopping. What are some ideas you'd like to share with us this morning?
All right. One of the things that persons ask all the time is, what do you give to someone who has everything already? And my easy answer to that question always is something that is personalized. And it's very important that when you are giving a gift to someone, that they can connect with what it is that they're receiving. People's tastes are always different, but I can guarantee that once you get something with someone's name on it, they will absolutely fall in love with it immediately. And right now, with only 4 days to go to get your shopping in, some of the things that I could recommend that you could get are things like wine glasses, the insulated wine tumblers, water bottles, things that persons would, actually use when they get them, and that they'll probably use between now and Christmas. We have Christmas ornaments, for example, that persons are putting on their tree, even at Christmas Eve. That can be something like the family tradition. That too can also be personalized. When you think about things like cushions, people are always trying to spruce up their space for Christmas to give your house a fresh look. You change the drapes, you want the cushions to match. Definitely a go-to idea for Christmas. And clearly all of these items are also available from Jess's Gifts and Décor. Shameless plug right there. And anything that is decor related, because again, as I said, people are always looking for ways to brighten their space and to welcome the warmth and the magic of Christmas in. So definitely some of the things that are available. Teacups. People love a hot chocolate on Christmas morning. Definitely, a teacup will help to bring that personalized touch to having that warm Christmas morning hot chocolate or coffee if you're a coffee lover. And we at Jesse's have a special teacup now that we recently launched just in time for Christmas. And it's an easy 2 to 3 day turnaround time for this. It's our magic cup. So what happens is that the cup is black, and you give it to the person all unassuming. But once that cup warms up, it turns white, and then if you have a picture on it or words on it, it's revealed once it gets hot. So those are some of our hot items right now. We have acrylic LED lamps as well. And like I said, all of these items are a quick turnaround. So you still have time. We still have 4 days to get those items in time for Christmas.
So you wouldn't recommend that person's wait much longer, because things are going fast, I suspect.
Are going fast. As a matter of fact, we were at Market at the Lawn yesterday at Devon House, and persons were trying to grab, the deals and the discounts that we were offering. We have a special cushion also that we have on sale, a Christmas design, and persons absolutely love it, and that is one of our top sellers too right now. So it's only 4 days to go, so don't delay. We're located at 14 Lady Musgrave Road, so you can come and grab what you want there as well.
Do you find generally that the gifts that are available, even some of those that you mentioned, are they economically priced, would you say?
Certainly, and I think that's one of the good things about our business, that because we are, we listen to our clients a lot, and we try to tailor our offerings to what they ask for. So you can get items for as low as $800 or $500 for a Christmas ornament, for example. And I think our most expensive price item right now is for $6,500, which is our wooden laser engraved photo clock. So anywhere between $500 and $6,500, you can get a gift. Or I would say our main price point is anything from $3,000, $3,000, $4,000 or below.
Okay.
So it's everything affordable.
And people should also remember, sometimes it's just the thought that counts, so they don't have to put themselves out too badly if they're trying to get a gift for someone that they love. All right. Well, I thank you for sharing those ideas, and I'm sure that many of our listeners found them to be quite useful. And I wish you and your family, your staff, and all your customers all the best for the season, and all the best for the new year as well. Thank you for talking to us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and all the best to you too.
Much appreciated. News coming out of the Netherlands this morning. Not good news as they get close to Christmas. Did you hear the news? I can tell you, the Netherlands have announced a strict lockdown over the Christmas holiday seasons amid concerns over the Omicron coronavirus variant. The Prime Minister, Mr. Mark Rutte, said the measures were unavoidable. And you are aware that countries across Europe have been tightening restrictions as the heavily mutated variant spreads. So as it is, for Christmas, they are going to be under lockdown. Not good news for our friends over there in the Netherlands. Non-essential shops, and bars and gyms, hairdressers and other public venues will be closed until at least mid-January. So it's an extended lockdown. 2 guests per household will be allowed, 4 over the holidays. Those are measures that were announced last evening in relation to what they'll be doing over the Christmas Yuletide. The Prime Minister said, "I stand here tonight in a somber mood, and a lot of people watching will feel that way too." He told a news conference, he said, to sum it up in one sentence, the Netherlands will go back into lockdown from today, Monday, the 20th of December. That's the latest out of the Netherlands, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, DJ Roy.
Morning.
There you go.
Morning.
There you go.
Sir, how
morning. I'm doing well, my bro. How you doing?
Doing fine, man. Doing fine. Still getting rave reviews from that Burning Spear interview that we did last week.
Yeah.
It is breaking the internet. It is
Wow.
doing extremely well.
Yep.
And still honored, Richie B. Still
Yes,
honored.
sir. Yes,
Just
sir.
like I'm honored every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I connect with you, man.
Yes, sir. And the feeling is definitely mutual. I'm also getting some good responses, great responses, as a matter of fact, to that interview. And really one that we enjoyed. As a matter of fact, I played his latest song, Mommy, earlier on this morning. And sometime in the course of this week, I'm going to touch bases with his management to find out whether or not they're making progress in terms of finalizing the mix on that song that he delivered for us to hear for the first time anywhere on earth.
Yeah. Irie Jam and Bridge 99 exclusive.
Yes, sir, without a doubt. How cold is it this morning?
Our season will be cold. It's about 24 degrees here in where I am at, actually. And COVID still I keep. I mean,
Yes, sir.
Jamaica complains about, things being locked down, but we're having the same thing here. My mother-in-law, who is 80 on Wednesday, was supposed to have a special birthday party in Manhattan to see the Rockets. 15 tickets we bought.
Yeah.
And the Rockets have been canceled. So many things have been canceled. So Jamaica don't feel like we're alone. It's safety. It's for safety reasons, safety protocol.
Most
so it's
definitely.
happening worldwide.
Moderna, though, they're coming out with an announcement today saying that a booster shot of its COVID-19 vaccine, according to Moderna, they're saying that it significantly increases antibody levels against the highly transmissible Omicron variant. So that's a new development. They are saying at Moderna that a 50 microgram jab, which is the authorized dose for a third shot, saw a 37-fold increase in neutralizing antibodies, according to Moderna. They also went on to say, DJ Roy, that they tested a 100 microgram booster dose, which increased antibody levels some 83-fold. So they're making that announcement, and maybe that is some kind of good news. Even whilst we were carrying news earlier that Netherlands is under full lockdown between now and the middle of January. So definitely, COVID's still a keep, bro.
Still a keep. Still a keep. So again, Jamaica just bracing itself, because I always say, if New York City or America catch a cold, Jamaica catch the flu.
Yes.
so brace yourself.
Yes, sir.
And be careful. A lot of people are complaining, though, that the restaurants that you go in, that you must wear masks and you must be vaccinated. But when you go into McDonald's, people are walking down in the McDonald's and the fast food restaurant with no mask on and no question about vaccination. So that's causing a little vibes here in the New York area too.
It's interesting, though, the way that this virus is affecting sports in a big way again. I mean, there are a number of teams in Europe, especially in the EPL, that didn't see their matches being held because members of many teams were down with COVID-19. You mentioned some issues in terms of cancellations recently. And it is going to kind of throw the whole arrangement in terms of the scheduling out of whack with all of these sporting events, eh?
Yeah, well, it messed up last year. Remember last year, the NBA, they played in a bubble.
Yeah.
And if it continues this way, I think they might be in a bubble again this year.
I was just here thinking, DJ Roy, a few years ago, I might have been on a show like this asking you how many tickets I should get you for maybe Sting or one of these big Christmas events. They're not happening this year at all. No GT extravaganza, no big parties like French Connection and special deliveries, parties like All Whyte that used to be so popular at this time. Things have really changed quite a bit.
Truly. I would be in high gear right now for my annual New Year's Eve black and white ball.
Yeah.
The last one I had Busy Signal. Before that I had Mikey Spice. Before that I had Freddie McGregor. And we're talking on average of anywhere between 3,500 to 2,000 people.
There you go.
Every year. And this year, I actually decided since September that I wouldn't go that route because I just felt like it wasn't the time yet, and to do the numbers that I needed to do to break even, I don't think I could have got it during COVID time. So September we decided not to put it on. A lot of people bought their dresses, people bought their tuxedos, they were ready. I'm still getting calls today, Richie. And I'm telling everyone, I decided, in September that I'd wait a year. I'll sit out 2 years.
Makes sense because of the uncertainties in relation to, of course, COVID-19 and this new variant which is out there, Omicron, which is causing a lot of problems. Make sure you have a great day today. Spend wisely as you go out shopping. Be careful on the roads. Be alert. And on your guard at all times. Take care on behalf of the entire team. Richie B wishing you a good day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Richie B, the party Party Master on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.